What's up, everybody? How's everybody doing today? Welcome to the Safety Scissors and Duct Tape podcast. I'm Safety Scissors.
And I'm Duct Tape.
Today, it's the week of Black Friday
Yeah,
and Turkey Day.
I was like, did you think we were going to say Thanksgiving? Because no, it's Black Friday. I mean, that's pretty much what everybody's thinking about anyway. So
we were sitting here talking, and we were like, hey, what was some of the stuff that you remember from Black Friday going on sale and what you wanted and what your friends got?
Well, first let's talk about how different Black Friday used to be back in the 90s. Because you remember when Black Friday was just one day?
Oh, yeah.
Because now it's like the stores are open on Thanksgiving morning now. And sales are going all the way through the weekend. I mean, some of the places that I shop, they start Black Friday on November 1st. So it's like Black Friday used to be just one day, one special blowout day. And now it's like November, Black November. Like it's crazy.
When I was a kid, I remember like having Thanksgiving at my family's house, and then like after we ate and everything, my aunts and my grandma and everything would sit down and they would go through like all the ads. Like each one of them would bring their ads from a different place.
Oh my gosh,
they would be
remember
like,
that.
and they would be like, oh, who wants this? Who needs this? And then they would organize what stores that they were going to go to. And when they got to the store, they would have like a game plan. I'm like,
like a map and stuff.
Like tactical. I'm like, okay.
Well, my brother and I used to do that. My brother's very big on Black Friday, even to this day, up until we started going on cruises over Thanksgiving week. And even then, we still had Black Friday sales. But he would, like, okay, 4 a.m. I'm going to line up here, and I'm going to get in at 5 a.m. and do it. And then 6 a.m. I'm going to go to this place. And he had it planned out. And now it's like, well, on Thursday, I'm going to go here. Wednesday night, there's a sale here. And then Friday, I might go out because all the stuff's going to be gone by then. So Black Friday has turned into spend your Thanksgiving at the stores and then eat when you get home. And so Black Friday is just so different now. I remember stores would open at the ungodly hour of like 4 back then, but now they're open the night before. And those, the poor retail workers, like I feel so bad for retail workers over Black Friday. But nowadays we also have Small Business Saturday and a big push for that. So nice. I do appreciate that. And then I think starting in the 2000s came Cyber Monday. I'm pretty sure that started in the 2000s. So back in the 90s, it was Black Friday or bust. It was
you didn't
get your cheap TV now.
If you didn't get it by 7 a.m. that day, you weren't getting it.
And then the hot items that went on Black Friday sales were TVs, VCRs.
Yeah, or... Oh, man.
That TV VCR combo.
Yeah, what was it, like 13 inch?
13 inch, it has the little VCR.
It was this little tiny screen, and you had the VCR.
I had one of those.
I did too. The VCR tape was basically as big as the width of it, and you were like, oh, I can watch my Ninja Turtles.
On this tiny little screen.
Oh, you remember when they had the themed ones, where it would be like, what was, they had, I know I had the Ninja Turtles one, but they had like...
They had different football teams,
I think they had a Barbie one. They had football ones and stuff. And I was just laughing because I remember watching people watch football on those little screens. And now they're like 80 inches. But back then it was, I think that's our team.
Person. Oh, just a leaf. Okay. But yeah.
But yeah, it was craziness. Because I remember my mom used to wake me up at like 3 something or 4 in the morning to go line up with my family. And it was like, I didn't want to be there, but like me and my cousins were pretty much there, to run and grab stuff if they needed it real quick, because we were like tiny and squirrely, but also to just make sure that our family was okay.
Yeah. So. I mean, my job and Andy's job, my brother, our job was to like go for the toys, go for like the stuff that we wanted while it was cheap. That's just what we did. My mom's like, get it while it's cheap. And we're like, okay.
If you don't get it, it's your own fault.
Yeah. I mean, I never really went for anything big. I was really into like art sets and stuff. But we'll talk about that in another vlog. Okay. So what were those big items? What were the things that people were going for on Black Friday in the 90s? There was obviously the TVs. There was VCRs. There was the coveted DVD player.
Oh, yeah.
So there's that.
I remember...
CDs and CD players, DVDs, VHSs. Like, those were big ones.
I remember the Sony Walkman for the CD was huge one year. When it first came out, like a couple years after that, like when they finally could like mass produce it for cheaper, they were like... look, here's some off-brand. And you were like, oh, it's amazing.
Well, let's talk about the big ones. How
like
about
the
we
ones that like where like people were busting down the doors,
people beat each other up over it. How about we start with the biggest of the big? Tickle Me Elmo.
Oh.
Do you remember? I think, didn't somebody die?
I think so.
Over
I think
that, or was it
trampled.
over a game console?
I don't know. I think someone got walked on it in New York. I think so.
That's really sad. I hate that. That's like, oh, do you remember that somebody died over a toy? But like, I think it was that intense. I remember Tickle Me Elmo was the biggest thing. All of my friends wanted one. I did not want one because I didn't like dolls. And I didn't watch Sesame Street. So there was no reason for me to have a Tickle Me Elmo. But I did actually feel that covet for it just because everybody else wanted it. So me, I was just like, should I want that? Do I want that? I felt that.
I think I was just out of the age range where like I'm pretty sure I was several years past like the playing with like a Tickle Me Elmo or like an Elmo
especially
doll.
As a guy, but like I don't think it matters what age you were. If you were a girl, you're like, I kind of want Tickle Me Elmo, but like I didn't want it at all.
I knew a lot of girls that were like teenagers and stuff that wanted him because they played house or they played pretend and it was their baby or whatever. And but I didn't have a desire. I just thought it was crazy because it was like, I want that, I need that, and it was just like, no.
What do you tickle him and he laughs? That's weird. How about it was like this. And it had a little thing that you talked into, and it had a little thing at the other end, and it changed your voice. Do you remember what I'm talking about? This wasn't one that you and I ever talked about in knowing each other. I think it was used on Home Alone to change...
The Talk Boy.
The Talk Boy. Do you remember that?
I had one of those. I got one of those that year. It was in Home Alone 2.
Yeah.
And like you could record yourself, and then you could play it back in slow, or you could play it back in fast.
And it would make you sound like a girl or like an older adult man and stuff like. I wanted one of those so badly.
I had one and I loved it, and then I realized I barely used it because as a kid you're like, I need that. I could do everything with it, and then you get it and you play with it for like a week, and you're like, okay, what else?
Oh my gosh.
And what else was there? There was the other coveted one, the one that was like Tickle Me Elmo, only it could repeat.
What?
Furbies.
Oh.
Furbies were insane.
Yeah, I remember.
Oh my gosh.
I remember people were crazy about Furbies, and they sold out within seconds of Black Friday. Like literally, just okay, they're gone, and it's like
people were selling them for several grand.
Yeah.
Like in parking lots.
Because people really wanted them, and it's a toy. Like but hey, that's what the hype was about back then. I guess we didn't have social media to have hype over and like TikTok dances. But how does that thing? Something like that. I don't know. Yeah, no, he's better at it. He's so much better at it.
But no, yeah, it's oh man, I remember everybody wanted those, and everybody was trying to find them. I remember when I was younger, I went to a store, and they had like 10 of them. Just sitting there, and I like called everyone that I knew because I think I had to go out to the payphone at that point. But I called and I was like, "Hey, they have these," because people that I knew that had kids that wanted them. I'm like, "They have them here," and they're like, "Grab me one." I'm like, "I don't have $50 or whatever."
Yeah, they were really expensive.
I was like 14, 15, I think. I was like, I don't have that kind of money.
They weren't gonna hold them either.
Yeah. So what I did was I made sure that they were up on top with pillows, so people knew where to find them.
You hide things because people aren't going to hold it. So back in the day, you were just like, I'll just put it behind 6 things nobody's going to buy. So
I always put it. Look, little advice: put it behind bedding.
Oh yeah.
Nobody ever pulls from the back of the bedding. Just so you know.
Or the health food section.
Oh yeah, no one goes there.
The gluten-free section.
There's gonna be one gluten-free person's like, I needed this.
Not about the 90s, but like pandemic talk for just a second. Oh. Do you remember at the beginning of the pandemic when all the stores were completely out of food? Like no store had any food because we thought we were going to get locked in, and we kind of did. You go to the store, like you go to the bread aisle, there's nothing there except a fully stocked, beautifully clean, gluten-free section. And you're just like, man, it's so bad nobody wants it. Oh my goodness. And like some people need to eat gluten-free, and I understand that, but it was just so funny.
Because it was absolutely like people funny. Were like, nope, I'm not doing it.
Yeah, but and I have dietary restrictions, and I know most people won't touch the vegan stuff. Yeah, there was vegan food too. You go to the produce section, there's nothing. Fully stocked vegan section. It's like, it's not that bad.
You walk in, it's empty except for this like little thing. It's like, oh.
Yeah, and I'm like, okay, at least my food's here.
I can eat, yay.
Yeah. Anyway, sorry, my bad.
We digress. But
we digress.
Furbies were huge.
Huge.
And all I remember about Furbies is when the battery was dying, they sounded so creepy.
Possessed.
They were like, I love you.
Oh my God, stop.
And you're just like,
stop.
You're just like, hi, I love you too. Please don't kill me.
Oh my gosh. So what else was there?
What else? I'm trying to think of what else that was out there that I wanted so bad for Christmas. Ooh. Nintendo 64.
Ooh, I was about it. Mm-hmm. I was so about the Nintendo 64 because I had a Sega Genesis for so long, and I'm just like, Nintendo has a new console. I had the NES and I had the Sega Genesis. I was just ready for some new Mario, and then that came out, and then I was sorely disappointed.
You didn't like that Mario?
Mario 64 was not a side scroller, and I was very upset by this. I remember that, but
it was a whole new world.
My mom and dad owned a bar, and I think because they did that, they had like easy access to video games and technology because they had a game room in their bar. So I think that's how we got our N64 without a fight. So we just ordered it through them because we got it right away. We opened it on Christmas, and it was like, it's Mario! And then we spent the rest of winter break just playing Mario 64 and hating it because it wasn't a side scroller. So...
Yeah, I think I got my 64 either right at Christmas or right after Christmas, I think. But I remember I think Mario was my first one on there, and then I got Donkey Kong Country.
My favorite on there? GoldenEye.
Ooh.
I was such a GoldenEye girl.
I got hooked into first-person shooters, and honestly, that's one of the reasons why I wound up doing like competitive Call of Duty and Halo is because I got into it with GoldenEye.
The thing is, I sucked at GoldenEye, and... I would try to like see how many kills of myself that I could get and ruin y'all's like actual kills. So like I'd wait till you were right there and then like blow up the entire room.
Oh yeah.
And that was my new rule just because it didn't get me anywhere. It didn't get me any like kill counts or anything. But I just wanted to mess up your game because I was so bad at it, but I had so much fun with it. So
I remember with GoldenEye, the big thing with my father and I, because that's who I played GoldenEye with the most, is we would go and try to get all of like the cheat things you could get, like big head mode,
DK mode, and paintball, and I would write things. I would love to just write things and leave messages.
And one of the things that after a while I got really good, and my father couldn't keep up with me playing, and we would do this thing where we would take the proximity mines and go throw them throughout the game.
I love proximity
and we'd throw them throughout the map, and we'd have a timer set, and you'd only have X amount of time to go blow up all of them, or you lost.
See, like, I love making up your own rules.
Yeah, you got to make mini games, and like people make those now in like Minecraft and things like that. They create their own mini games, but that was the fun thing to do because after a while, you know, when one or two people or even up to four people.
You kind of it just becomes okay, I get it. You killed me.
There's always that one player that just blows everybody out of the water.
Or sucks really bad.
That's the person that you always want to find.
Yeah, right? All right, so what about Tamagotchis?
Oh.
Okay, so people fought so hard to get those on Black Friday. They were like, I got my Tamagotchi for my daughter or my son or whatever. And then your daughter or your son killed their Tamagotchi pet within like a week.
That was me. I always forgot to feed it. It would beep. I'm like, what is that beeping? I
would remember that a lot of my friends had them in school, and the teachers were so upset because all this like beep, 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 beep would happen all class. Throughout the entire like day, they would just hear beep, beep, beep. And they're like, oh, sorry, I have to feed my Tamagotchi. It's like, the teacher was like, those aren't real. You know what's real? History. That's real. We should be working on that. And they're like, no, but I have to feed my baby. And it's like, wait, what? The only teacher that probably didn't mind was a home ec teacher, because then they didn't have to order like fake babies anymore. They just could say, oh, just use your Tamagotchi. It's fine. Save the budget. We don't need dolls. So
yeah, I had a Tamagotchi because I thought everyone else had one. And I thought it was the coolest thing. Like, you got to play with it and give it food and stuff. Then one day I left it at my father's house when I was spending the weekend at his house. And apparently it was in my pocket and it fell out into his couch. And he's like, for 2 weeks, I sat there and I just kept hearing this random beep. And then it wouldn't happen again. And I couldn't figure out where it was coming from. And he was like, it was driving me crazy. Finally, he found it and my Tamagotchi got taken apart.
I bet.
He was like...
You killed it. You didn't just kill your thing in the Tamagotchi. You killed the Tamagotchi.
I killed the whole case and everything.
I never had one. I never wanted one. I just wasn't one of those girls that wanted to take care of something. I had live animals at home and that I wanted to take care of, but I never wanted baby dolls. I never wanted, like, Tickle Me Elmo. I never wanted Tamagotchi. That wasn't the kind of toys I wanted to play with, if that makes sense. I guess I wasn't a very nurturing child, but yeah.
I was told that you could play with them. So I thought, oh, there'd be like little mini games or something that you could play with.
No, you just feed them.
It was just like, here's a candy. And it was like, yay.
Yeah.
And you're like...
I mean, it was marketed to teach kids responsibility, but all it did was teach kids that it's okay if you kill them. You can just load another one.
Just press the little button in the back and reset them.
Yeah.
But there was I remember just the hype, and those were like the big things that people wanted.
Huge. Oh my God, I can't get over the reaction. I still remember everybody's just like, have to have it. And I'm like,
the old commercials for these things.
Yeah.
Like the Tickle Me Elmo, like the commercials, he'd come on the screen and then the little girl's playing with him, and all of a sudden he just starts laughing. He's like, that tickles. And you're like, he interacts with me. Oh my goodness.
Yeah. And the commercials really made you want these things. They were smart back then. Nobody even watches commercials anymore because you can just skip them.
It's more than 15 seconds. I'm irritated and switch the video.
Yeah, right?
But no, but you know, another thing that I didn't ever understand the hype behind?
I can think of a lot of things, but what is it?
Beanie Babies.
Oh, man.
It was like thousands of Beanie Babies. And then now I remember fast forward years later, some of them were worth a couple bucks, some of them worth a couple thousand.
Yeah.
But now they're so far gone that I don't think that they hold their value anymore.
I think the new version of Beanie Babies is pop figures.
Oh, yeah.
That's what people are scrambling to get when certain ones come out. Like I have a friend that works at Target, and he's not allowed to like buy them for himself until he's off. So if it comes in, he can't even hold one so he could buy it. And he's just like, if that's not here when I'm off, I'm going to be so mad. And but he's like big into pop figures. I have a lot of friends that are big into pop figures.
My sister's huge. She's got a couple hundred of them.
And people will go crazy the day that a new one comes out. And just like they did with Beanie Babies. A new Beanie Baby came out and everyone's like, oh, have to have it. And it doesn't matter what age, what gender, what anything you are. It's 70-year-old man is like, I need Beanie Babies. And you're just like, did you say that?
If you it was something that if you collected, you wanted it. And it wasn't really like people played with them, like little kids played with them and stuff.
I had some. I liked them.
People more or less had them to keep them.
Yeah, I liked having them because they were like little cats. When my cats didn't feel like playing with me, I could have a little cat, and I just liked that.
To me, it's kind of like stuffed animals.
Yeah, it is.
You have them, they sit there.
Animal.
Yeah, I know, but you know what I mean? Like you have them and they just sit there as decoration or as in something that you enjoy.
Yeah.
Or like you, like some
I guess you don't really like snuggle with the unicorn. It's there. It's under the bed. I got him a stuffed unicorn. I forget why.
I think I wasn't feeling good. Or
something. I don't know. I was just like, here's a stuffed unicorn. And he's like, oh.
For those of you that don't know, I absolutely love unicorns. I don't know why. There's something about a horse with a horn that's magical. That's amazing. I don't know what it is.
So you don't really like snuggle with your stuffed animal. It just kind of sits there. And I get that because I have stuffed bears right there. Like literally right there. I don't snuggle with them. They're just there.
They're cute.
So, yeah.
But it's just something fun to have and cute. And if you guys can hear it, I apologize. It's currently pouring. It just started. It was like...
Yeah, there's a hurricane like teasing Florida right now.
It's like, hey guys, what are you doing?
Oh, that's another episode we could do is about the hurricanes of the 90s. But you weren't in Florida. But
I was in Ohio. Man. We had snow and...
But anyway, back to the other natural disaster that is Black Friday. What else was there?
Did you ever have a Super Nintendo?
I didn't actually. My friend across the street did, and I had the Sega Genesis, so we kind of just swapped.
Yeah, I got my Sega Genesis way after, but I remember like my friends are like, oh, what'd you get for Christmas? And I'm like, oh, I got this. And like, that's cool. I got a Super Nintendo. And I was like...
That's another thing though that, I mean, not to go off on another tangent, but that was a big thing back then. I'm not a kid anymore, so I don't know if it is now. Maybe it's worse now because of social media. But do you remember that feeling of like, you got all these great things and then your friends would tell you what they got and you suddenly felt like everything you got was worthless? Because
or vice versa, depending on...
I didn't grow up rich, I didn't grow up well off at all. We struggled a lot. I mean, we didn't struggle the way that your family struggled. I know that there's a difference there. But, and we talked about this, I think, on one of these before.
Yeah.
But I didn't have, like, my friend would call me and go, oh, I got like $500. And I'm like, I got a headset for a phone. Yeah. We struggled a little bit, but, you know.
And that's the thing is, you know, it'd be vice versa, whether, you know, there's always people that are doing better and always people that are doing worse. Like, I had friends that would get, you know, one game and they were super excited about getting one game. And then there'd be times that I'd get 10 games or 6 games. And then me as a person, I'm not a bragger. They'd be like, oh, what did you get? Oh, I got some clothes and I got a game. And
yeah, because that's,
I'm like we've talked about, I'm not really big on bragging about me. I've never been that way. And I've never been one about wanting to make other people feel bad. So I'd be like, oh yeah, you know, I got some socks and got a couple pair of pants and I got a game.
But I remember, like, with these big ticket items, people would get, like, parents would go out and get them on Black Friday, but maybe my mom didn't really get to get one. And then, like, my friends would go, I got a Super Nintendo. And I'll be like, cool. I got a Game Boy game. I think it cost my mom like $10. But that's okay. You know, like, I was happy with everything. But anyway, so Super Nintendo.
Super Nintendo was a big one. I really wanted one so bad because of... oh, wait. I just realized. Earlier, I said on the 64 that Donkey Kong Country was the game that I played. No. I meant that for the Super Nintendo. I played that at my father's house. It was Legend of Zelda that I played a lot on there.
See, I mixed them up. I never played Super Nintendo. Like, I went over to my friend's house and watched them play the Super Nintendo, but, like, I just never actually played because I just wanted to play with my Sega Genesis. So I was like, no, this is the superior console. So, but it wasn't, but it was to me. But
yeah, it was one of those things that I always wanted, but I never got one. My father had one, so I played it there, but I never had one.
So was there anything else that was like a big ticket item that people went nuts over, aside from like TVs and vacuums? That was the thing. I remember people were like crazy over a vacuum. Or was that in the 2000s? It was like a shark vacuum that people were like, yo, about. And
my parents in the 80s were huge. I think it was the 80s were huge about the rainbow vac, where you had the water in the bottom and you could put the like smelly goods in it. But I remember that the guy sold it. There was literally a door-to-door salesman that sold it. But no, as far as big ticket items or like big hype things, one of the things that I do remember in the 90s that was huge was just Pokemon.
That's right.
All around Pokemon,
Pokemon
like just
cards,
started.
Pokemon stuff, and now it's still huge. Absolutely, I was not into Pokemon back then at all. I was more into like Ninja Turtles and Power Rangers and X-Men. Those were my things. So I guess my mom really lucked out that I didn't really want all the big ticket items, because so far I'm not really saying I needed to have it.
I wanted some video game stuff. I wanted art supplies, and I wanted action figures. That's what I wanted. Ninja Turtles, action figures, you know, that's what I wanted.
I wanted notebooks. I wanted blank notebooks all the time. And I mean, I wanted some big ticket items, but it wasn't the Black Friday ones. I wanted like a guitar. So, yeah, I don't know. Was there a clothing item that was pretty big back then? Like Black Friday level? I don't think there was.
It's probably completely different.
I mean, just Tommy Hilfiger.
Oh, yeah. Tommy Hilfiger was
huge. Any department store having a Black Friday sale, it was about Tommy Hilfiger and Calvin Klein.
And Starter. Starter was huge when I was a kid.
So clothing back then had Black Friday sales like crazy. And then cars. Back then, there were a lot of Black Friday car sales, which I thought was weird. Because I guess back then, people didn't realize that buying somebody a car is buying them debt for 6 years. Unless they bought the car outright, but I guess I just didn't grow up knowing anybody that had like, you know, $60,000 to just, okay, there it is.
Yeah, I remember.
Be nice though.
Yeah, wouldn't that be nice if just someone was like, here's a car. You're like, thanks. But yeah, as far as big ticket items or any like big 90s hype that was just like, I think the biggest hype was probably Furbies, Tickle Me Elmo, and just overall Pokemon stuff.
Yeah, if we're forgetting something, write it down in the comments on the YouTube video, or just like message us on social media and be like, hey, you forgot this. And we'll be like, dude, we forgot this.
Yeah, or if you have with some of those items, tag us
Moon
in
shoes.
Moon shoes.
We forgot about moon shoes. Oh. Those were huge. Or well, not even like a specific item, rollerblades. When rollerblades came out,
rollerblades.
everywhere everyone needed it.
You had to be, like, every TV show, like, if you were the cool kid, if you had rollerblades.
You were not cool if you had quad skates. When rollerblades came out, it was blades or bust. So, yeah, I'm thinking of more generic things now. And it's like, yeah, when rollerblades came out, that was the thing. Discmans. Little MP3 players.
Oh, yeah.
When those first came out, the little ones. Like, did the iPod come out yet?
I don't remember when iPod came out. It was probably right around 2000.
Probably right around there, I would think.
But
at least, like, they started with, like,
generic...
Hit Clips was the start of that.
Yeah, and then they'd have, like, the little generic...
Generic one that looked like a USB drive.
Yeah,
you lose it. It was, like, red, right?
Yeah. Yeah, you lose it because you're like, oh, I put it in my pocket and I don't find it.
Beepers. Pagers. That wasn't a Black Friday item, but that was a big item for people to purchase.
You know what else was
pager
really big?
covers.
You know what else was really big? The CD player for your car with the pop-off face cover.
So that nobody could steal it?
Yup.
Maybe those were big-ticket Black Friday items, but we were kids. We weren't purchasing those things. We just wrote on our little Christmas list what we wanted. We didn't have cars, so we didn't care about that.
Yeah, I didn't have a car until, what?
I didn't have a car till 2005.
99?
2005, I bought my first car.
Yeah. So in 99, I was like, yeah. And then I remember I bought my CD player for it in 99 that had that. So
Yeah, I didn't get my first car till, like, crazy late. But
no, I mean, I'm still stuck on the whole Pokemon, like, just bonanza that was out there in the world.
I guess I didn't feel it as much because my friends weren't into Pokemon. But, I mean, I guess...
I worked at a skating rink. And we actually held because Pokemon cards were a huge thing and people played the game, which fast forward years later, I'm not going to lie, I made fun of the kids who played Magic. Now I play Magic. But back then, I didn't know how to play the Pokemon game. Turns out it's Magic, but with Pokemon.
It's Magic, but it's Magic the Gathering, but with Pokemon characters. We forgot one more big, huge thing.
What's that?
Slip and slide.
Ooh.
That was a big thing in the 90s. All my friends had one. I wanted one. My mom was like, why would I buy you one if all of your friends have one? And I was like, oh, you're right.
Trampolines were huge.
Well, trampolines are physically huge as well, but also, like, they're still huge. But slip and slide. How to turn your front lawn sprinklers and hose into an afternoon of fun.
And a rock in the back.
Yeah.
Because there was always that one rock that you're like,
oh, those dangerous games. But yeah, that was a big one. Absolutely big one. Was there a board game that was big? I feel like board games have always just kind of been there.
I remember
when Trivial Pursuit came out. That was huge.
There was also that the mall one. I don't remember what it was called, but it was like a game where, like, you were at the mall. And then there's also...
I would have hated that game.
There's also the dating one where it had the phone in the middle.
A mystery date or
my
something.
cousins had it, and they always made me play it. And I was like, this doesn't make sense. I don't want to go on a date with any of these people.
Oh my gosh.
Because I was like 11 or 10, and I was like, I don't want to go on a date.
And now we have, like, the new ones. We have board games for, like, the messed up versions of them. It's like mystery date catfished. And it's really funny.
Or what is it? Life now with crippling debt.
Yeah, quarter life crisis now with crippling debt. And I'm like, wow, it's my life. It's my, oh wow, I can play a board game that's just like real life. No, except you actually pay debt back in that game instead of real life. So
graphics are real.
Yeah. But anyway, if we forgot anything, let us know. It's so much fun to reminisce about all this stuff. I can't believe all these things that people went crazy over for Black Friday. I wonder what people are going to go crazy over this year for Black Friday. I haven't really
seen anything that was like the big item this year.
I think what people want is like to be able to not have coronavirus. I think that's all anybody wants this year.
Like last year or 2 years, it was the Hatchimals, where it was like the giant egg and it would hatch after a certain time.
I don't know. All of my students just ask for iPhones. I have no idea.
My buddy worked at a retail store, and that's what he was saying. But
gotcha. It's the PS5 this year.
Oh, the PS5.
That's what it's going to be. It's the Xbox
Master.
Big ass thing.
Yeah. I don't remember, but yeah, it's they're huge. And
yeah.
One looks like a router, one looks like a notebook. So,
yeah, right. But yeah, it's just I think that's what it's going to be this year, the Xbox and the PS5. So
if you want to know what to get us for Christmas,
Why do we want those? I still want notebooks.
Yeah, I want an Xbox.
Okay.
No, but if someone's gonna give me a first gen Xbox like you, that's what you said.
Oh no, we have one in the garage.
I know. I think we have 3 in the garage.
I think we have 3 in the garage. That's what happens when I had one and he had 2. Why'd you have 2?
Because one wasn't working right.
Oh, okay. And then so there's a red ring and then the other 2. Okay. So
at the end of the last video, the last podcast episode, we asked a question. Do you remember that question? What was the best-selling video game console of the 90s?
Oh, speaking of video game consoles.
Look at that segue. Go us.
If your answer was Sony PlayStation, you got it right. That's crazy to me because I feel like that's the one I heard the least about. But I think I know why it would have been the biggest console because it was just so revolutionary. Mm-hmm. It was a CD. It was a disc. Never mind Sega CD, no one cared. So then you have Sony coming out, this big name brand, Sony coming out with PlayStation, and you just go, new, future, yes.
Their marketing was definitely a lot better than Xbox's was because they came out around the same time. And Xbox was a CD game also, but
oh yeah, that's right.
The thing is that they came out right before, I believe, but they also were like really big. They already had.
No, I don't think the Xbox came out yet. Xbox came out when PS2 came out.
Did it?
Yeah, Xbox wasn't around yet.
I don't know.
The war started between PS2 and Xbox because Xbox 360 came out when PS3 came out. Xbox One came out when PS4 came out. So they're offset.
Science. I think you're right.
I think I'm right.
If not, then leave a comment below and go,
I'm pretty sure I'm right.
But no, what's it called with PlayStation though? They were also smart. They teamed up with everybody to offer like demo discs, like with Pizza Hut. You got a demo disc with Pizza Hut. You ordered a pizza and you got a games.
I got demo discs for a console I didn't have, and I was like, "Well, which one of my friends has a PlayStation?
I had
Here
like
you go."
5 or 6 of them because we get pizza, and it was just like, cool. I can play Crash Bandicoot again.
So, what is today's question?
Today's question is, let's see, which one did we decide on?
We decided on this one. So the question is, what soda's working name was Mountain Dew Killer? Ooh. So back in the 90s, there was a soda that used the working name, didn't stick with the name, but used it as its working name, Mountain Dew Killer.
I'm pretty sure Pepsi would have had a problem with that name.
Probably. So put it in the comments on YouTube or message us on social media and let us know what you think the answer is. And yeah, I had so much fun talking about Black Friday.
Yeah, and I'm actually really excited to check out the online deals this year because I'm not going to stores.
2 stores that I shop at regularly have huge online deals. And it's the clothing store that I buy stuff from, but also Guitar Center. Oh. So please, 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 please don't kill me if I buy 70 pairs of drumsticks.
Hey.
No, I don't buy drumsticks anymore. That's right. I buy from Magic Brand.
Yeah.
So, Magic Room Brand.
Yeah. So it's been a blast reminiscing about the Black Friday and, that kind of stuff. So if you guys enjoyed that, make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you're following this podcast on whatever platform you're watching it on.
And subscribe to our YouTube channel so that you can see the visuals. You can see my cool 90s shirt and his blockbuster, make it a blockbuster night shirt.
And we really do appreciate you guys hanging out with us on these podcasts. We absolutely love chatting with you guys, and we love when you guys respond and talk with us about the things, because I know we've gotten messages and we've gotten comments from people. Yeah, we've gotten messages, hey, I like this, and one time I was like, what are they talking about? Because I didn't realize.
Yeah, and you had to look it up.
I had to you were talking about the podcast, because I thought it was like something I posted on social media.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, no. But no, it's an absolute blast to chat with you guys. We absolutely love it, and we're so thankful for the support that you guys give us. You guys are amazing. But yeah, so make sure you leave that comment on what that is. Also, leave a comment about any other big ticket items or big Black Friday. Oh my gosh,
let us know what we missed, because I'm sure that there was a lot more than that. But yeah.
But as always, you guys are amazing. You are.
You go first.
I go first.
You always go first. Don't mess this up.
But I'm Safety Scissors.
And I'm second. Duct Tape.
And we're out of here. Thanks for watching, guys. And listening.